Hi everyone, welcome to Board of Tanks with StewiejP. I'm Stewie, you're not, and this is a brand new premium tank. Actually, it won't be that new by the time this video goes up, but it's a new tank that I had the pleasure of having a few games with, testing as a community contributor, and unluckily for me, I was away for most of the time, so the Flying Elite's kindly provided me with a couple of replays because he was doing the same thing in this brand new French tank destroyer, the AMX Cda 105. Going to call it the CDA, or the AMX Cda 105. Of course, it's probably got a 105mm gun. Yes, I'm right. 390 average damage at tier 8 for 260 penetration. That's with APCR rounds, which are standard in this tank. 310 penetration for the premium rounds. 310, which is heat. Now, Flying Elite's on Sand River in this game, playing by himself. He's lucky enough to be top tier, looking towards the Ferdinand by the looks of things. It's a nice shot for 386 into the tier 8 German tank destroyer. Just 5 tier 8 tanks on each team in this battle. IS-6, the M4A1 Revelarici, Super Pershing, and Flying Elite in the AMX Cda 105. Cannon Dassault, all premium tanks as top tier on the Flying Elite's team. Enemy teams at IS-6 and E4 Type 59, and of course a Ferdinand that he's already put a little bit of damage into. You can see early on he's already picked up over 1,000, nearly 1,500 hit points of damage now as he puts another shell into the IS-2 at tier 7. He's looking around there. He's got himself into a nice position on the hill on Sand River where he can chip away at these enemy tanks. Looks like he's looking towards WZ-120. Chinese tank destroyer that got taken out by the AOC 152. Bounced the T-29. The T-29 is one of those tanks that can bounce anything if it's in the right position, and that's what he's just done as a Flying Elite moves around to sit alongside this ISU 152 and try and get some more cheeky shots into these enemy tanks. 1-all's the score. They've lost the IS-6. The enemy side has lost the WZ-121FT, which is the new Chinese tank destroyer. And the Flying Elite's decided now he's clearly looked at the mini map and seen there's quite a number of tanks in the middle, quite a few being spotted in the north, and he's gonna see if the Cannon Dassault can live up to its name and assault towards the south. He bounces the T-29 and the IS-2 there. Not too bad at all. Hoping for the kill shot on the T-29, which he does. Gets rid of the tier 8 heavily armoured American tank. Now, Flying Elite's clearly played a few games while he was testing. He's already picked up a mark of excellence on this tank, and he did message me and let me know that. And that's not a bad effort at all as the score goes 3-2. They're one tank up now on Sand River, and the Flying Elite not stuffing around. He's still on pretty much full health. He's only lost 2 hit points. That's from when he tapped into that T-29. Does take a damaging shot from that IS-2 though. Of course, that IS-2 is gone now, but does have a pretty high alpha gun for tier 7 as he continues to move forward. Cops 213 damage from the GW Panther, tier 7 German self-propelled gun, but fixes his tracks, keeps moving forward, unstuns his crew. You can see the Flying Elite's chosen to go for a camouflage net, binoculars, and strong coffee as a premium consumable. And of course that'll help when he's stationary, that'll help his view range and his camouflage rating. He's just been spotted, possibly by the E-25, which was last seen in this area. There he is. He auto aims on the premium German tier 7 tank destroyer, but of course the little cockroach is a little bit too quick for the Flying Elite in the AMX Cda. Looks like he's going into this ditch. Just having a quick look, just make sure artillery hasn't hidden in that little southeastern ditch on Sand River, which they often like to do. Auto aims on the Super Pershing, cops a shot from the Leo. Looks like he might have spotted that artillery as well. 7-3 the score now. He pulls back, waiting for the reload. He's already picked up 3,000 damage, nearly 1,000 assisted damage, which isn't a bad effort in a tank destroyer, and he's blocked 605 damage as well, which tells me the armour isn't too bad for a tank destroyer. Of course, it doesn't have a turret. I've already worked that one out. It doesn't have a turret. I think this armour around here looks pretty well angled, so you might be able to pull off those lucky bounces. But of course, you wouldn't being French and being a tank destroyer, you probably wouldn't want to rely too much on that armour, like you might in a T95 or an E3 or even a T28 prototype. Looks towards that Leopard, he's never going to fail to penetrate that. Cops 155 damage from the E5. Currently not spotted, it is pretty hard to spot the E25. It does have that groovy camouflage as the Flying Elite moves up towards the top of this hill, trying to get a better angle on that Leo and the GW Panther and whatever else might be down there. Looks like the Type 59 and the T20 are both in the north. And the Flying Elite looking for another cheeky shot into the Leo. He does it. Only cops 136, but he puts out 391 hit points into the Tier 7 medium tank, the Leo. 11-5 the score now, so the result is a foregone conclusion. Let's just see if he can pick up a little bit more damage. He's already doing pretty good on 3,723. Pretty good. That's probably a bit of an understatement. It's an absolutely phenomenal effort as he puts another shell into that E25, that dirty little cockroach hiding up in the northeast flank. The T20's just been lit as well. Flying Elite sits on the cap circle. Of course, he's not going to be capping this one out. He's going to be looking for more of that beautiful damage, and we'll see. Pretty sure he's only been firing standard rounds in this game. Probably shouldn't need to fire premium ammunition when you're top tier. You would imagine that 260 penetration, when there's only 5 tier 8s on the enemy side, should be enough, especially if you get the right angle, even on the more heavily armoured tanks. Looking for a cheeky shot, just goes a little bit low in the E25. That's something I noticed when, even though it's on paper it's a pretty accurate gun, but every now and then, especially when you go for those long range shots, we know it's not always possible to land every shot. T29 going after that T20 by the looks of things. Artillery certainly aiming towards the Tier 7 medium American tank. 14-7 to score. Let's hope he pokes around the corner. Thank you very much, says the Flying Elite. I'll take that extra 380 hit points of damage before the T20 kills you. And in the end, not a bad result for the Flying Elite. In the AMX, I keep thinking AMX CDC. The AMX Cda 105. Let's have a look at the results page. It's an ace tanker from the Flying Elite. Hand of God, duelist, fire for effect, Confederate for hitting more tanks than anybody else did. The high caliber for doing the most damage. And he certainly did. 4,477 hit points of damage. 2 kills, 1222 base experience. That's without the premium multiplier or the daily double. 19 shots fired, 14 hit, 13 did damage, 4,477. Half of that was from a distance of more than 300 metres. He blocked it a little bit. He did nearly 1,000 assisted damage, and that was enough for an ace tanker. And a tidy amount of credits too, nearly 70,000 credits with a premium account. And that's not too bad for a game that only went for 7 minutes. And of course there was no boosters or clan multipliers or anything like that in that game. As we move on to this second shot of this threesome featuring the AMX Cannon Dassault 105, CDA 105, the brand new premium French tank destroyer. And unless I'm mistaken, as far as I know, the only other premium tank destroyer, premium French tank destroyer that's ever come out with World of Tanks is a little Tier 3, a little what's it called? The name's slipped my mind. It's some kind of FCM at Tier 3, and of course Tier 3 premium tanks, look, they're probably good if you're first starting out in the game, but once you've played a few battles, Tier 3 gets pretty boring pretty quickly. As the Flying Elite, again in this replay, is platooned up with his old mate Neokai from Crown. Neokai, also a one of the moderators on the Asian forums, and a very active player and all that kind of stuff. Neokai's in the Edelweiss. And Flying Elite puts a beautiful shot into the side of the T-34-100 to Tier 7. Czech medium tank looks towards the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. He's going to put a blind shot in. No, he's not. Again, staying with standard ammunition. I think it was a Flying Elite that I spoke to when I was talking to him about testing this tank. He was trying to go for try not to spam too much gold ammunition, just to see how this tank performs normally. And of course, when you're top tier, you generally shouldn't need too much premium ammunition. Now, he is shooting from a hell of a distance. If you look at the mini-map, that circle, that's his vision circle, that's that WZ-131 and the IS, both right on the edge of his circle. So he is shooting from a fair distance, and the gun's proving to be reasonably accurate. I found it was At medium range, it was very accurate. At long range, it was, I guess it was accurate enough, I guess. Wouldn't be as accurate as something maybe like a grill or a Waffenträger Panzer IV, but certainly does its job for its tier. So Flying Elite already on 1626 damage. I reckon one or two of these blind shots might have gone in. He's aiming towards where the Tiger 2 was last spotted. The tier 8 heavy tank in a very interesting position for a Tiger 2 is right out in the open there, and Flying Elite's just going to say no worries, I'll take that damage all day long. Gets rid of the tier 8 German heavy tank, who I'm not sure what he was thinking going in that direction. The IS proving to be a nice juicy target in the side as well, of course. Flying Elite in a pretty good position for a tank destroyer on Live Oaks, getting shots all day long into the sides of these heavy tanks. I just see look, I don't want to take anything away from him, but he's got some pretty good luck here. That Tiger 2 was in a dreadful position for a heavy tank, and that IS just seemed to light up just as the Flying Elite reloaded. It looks like he's doing pretty well here. The score is 5-2. He's got 2,660 hit points of damage that we've seen so far. Some of those blind shots won't be counted. If they did go in, I reckon they might have. And Flying Elite's decided, if I'm going to get any more damage, I need to move a little bit closer to the action. The Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger has been spotted there in the town in the northwest, as well as that IS. Hasn't been seen for a while. That IS will be feeling pretty nervous on 116 hit points. And the Flying Elite will be licking his lips, looking towards that tier 7 German heavy tank. And of course, this AMX Cda 105 pretty quick for a tank destroyer. He's caught the IS napping there, and he's picked up his second kill, sending Neotis back to the garage. 7-5 the score now, though. The enemy having a little bit of comeback, and Flying Elite think, well, this looks like this Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger is a little bit distracted by the Black Prince. Of course, that tier 8 German TD, when he sees that British tank, he'll be thinking, gee, that's plenty of hit points up for grabs there. 1450, he would have been going for the damage into that tier 7 heavy, but looks like he didn't even get a shot off as a Flying Elite picks up his third kill. 8-5 the score now in Live Oaks. Lorraine 15550 gets spotted and killed by the 1375. The WZ131, I Love Banana, there's another interesting in-game name, gets taken out by the Emil. Flying Elite shoots towards the J Panther at tier 7. Didn't quite zoom in or aim his shot there. I think that shot actually missed, or maybe hit one of those barriers on that railway bridge. The second shot doesn't miss at all. He's up to 3,500 damage that we've seen so far. Looks again towards the J Panther, and of course that's going to penetrate. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter how you angle your tank, old son, but well done for trying. 10-5 the score now. 11-5 as that J Panther gets taken out. Just 4 enemy tanks remaining. The GW Tiger P tier 8 artillery piece, the IKV 90B, who's just gone unspotted. The Oni, which is lit now with the Stridsvagn S1, the premium Swedish tank destroyer, as he looks to fire clutch towards the IKV 90B. Doesn't quite land it. Of course, he didn't have much time to fire that one, but the 105 certainly doing its job in Live Oaks. He keeps moving forward. 11-6 the score. Nearly 4,000 damage again. ISU 152. Not too happy about not being able to pen something. Possibly the Oni. Tiger P takes him down to 14 hit points. Decides not to go for the ram kill. That's the 1375. Cleaned up the artillery before he can start shooting, stunning and damaging the enemy team and the friendly players. 13-7 now. The IKV goes down. So does that E25. Looks like he might have done an eye for an eye battle for the E25. Ram killed the IKV after he shot him. Flying Elite gets lit by the Stridsvagn S1. Premium Swedish tank destroyer pulls behind the hill, and he'll be thinking, what can I do here? The score's 14-7. Not much to do. The ISU 152 Morph still sounds a little bit frustrated in the chat. Flying Elite puts a shell into the Stridsvagn S1 before the Emil picks up the kill, and a comfortable win in the end, 15-7. Commiserations to me old mate Neokai. He got taken out early in his Edelweiss while lighting up things in the northwest, but not a bad result for the Flying Elite. Yet another Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. Arsonist, because he set the, was it the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffentrager on fire? I think it was. Fire for effect, high caliber, U-Buildy. Top score, 5,158 damage. For his 3 kills, 1,136 base experience. He was top tier again in that game. And look, if he wasn't top tier, that base experience would be a lot higher. 18 shots fired, 14 hit. They all penned. Nearly 4,000 from a damage of more than 300 metres. But that's what this tank does. It's you certainly don't want to get into a brawl at the start and the middle part of the games. You could probably brawl with it and use your hit points towards the end if you had to. But ideally you don't want to take too much damage. Nearly 80,000 credits after tax in that 6-minute game with a premium account from the Flying Elite, and he's clearly enjoying playing this AMX Cannon Assault 105 as we move on to our third and final replay. This is from the old mate Struth from 1AR clan, our illustrious commander at 1AR. One of the nicest blokes you could ever hope to meet. The AMX Cda, and I have to say that, yes I do. AMX Cda 105, here we go again. This is Struth. This time he's got a bit of a different setup to the Flying Elite. You can see he purchased this tank, I would say, and he's running the usual consumables, fire extinguisher, first aid kit, and large repair kit. He's also got the camouflage net to enhance his camouflage, and of course he'll have a pretty decent crew in there. I know he's got some good French tank destroyers. He looks towards the Tiger 1. 422 damage, thank you very much. He does get spotted though, so he pulls back behind the rock, so because he knows that he can see on the, as he sees the Tiger P, he puts another 385 in. All looking at the lineup of the enemy team, all those tank destroyers, guarantee they will be camping the red line all day long. And not Struth though. Struth's getting out in the western flank of mines, and he's already put 3 shots into the Tiger and the Tiger P. Already up to 1,173 damage. Moves forward a little bit, just trying to get some vision on that Tiger P or the Tiger, who both look like they might be camping. Looks like a lot of enemy tanks in the middle part of mines. Still a Tiger 1 back at base. Not sure, he might have some ping issues or something, but Struth's not having any issues with the cable in this game. Puts another shot into the Tiger P. Almost gets rid of the Tier 7 German heavy tank. Now he's going to look towards the other Tier 7 German heavy, which is the Tiger 1. He might get a shot into the turret. Waits for the gun to aim. Thank you very much. Takes him down to 367. Artillery puts a shot into him. That Tiger 1. He'll be thinking, what should I do? I'm camping at the back. What should I do? I'm dying as well. That's probably why he shouldn't camp in heavies. 1 zip the score. Struth on nearly 2,000 hit points of damage. Nearly 1,000 assisted damage. I'm tipping that's because he tracked one of those Tigers when he shot him, or looking at where he is and where everybody else is, he probably spotted them as the artillery gets rid of that Tiger 1, bringing the score up to 2 zip. Struthy communicating with his team there by pinging that one line. Of course, he's got 2 medium tanks with him. The medium tanks traditionally have got the vision compared to the CDC. Looking at the circles on the minimap tells me that the view range isn't too bad on the AMX, not the CDC, Stewie. I know the CDA 105. Looks like the Tiger P's decided it's now or never, and Struthy will say no worries. Looks like it might be never. You're going back to the garage, old son. The Tiger P gets taken out. 4 zip the score now. Struthy's still on full health. He's done 2,049 damage. Picked himself up a kill, and now he will be firmly looking towards those tank destroyers right at the back. The T25-2 and the J-Panther, both at Tier 7. Looks like artillery put a little bit of stun damage into those medium tanks. The T20 still stunned. Struth gets lit here. And he'll be thinking, who's lighting me? Who's this little bloke here? I'll try and shoot him. The STA-1 pulls back, so he denies Struth a shot. Just looking around, doesn't look like he's got shots on these tanks around there, but he's hugging that rock just to make sure. Make it as hard as possible for artillery to shoot at him, and hope that enemy artillery is looking a different way. There are 2 enemy artilleries in this game, 2 artilleries on each side I should say, but looking at where all these friendly tanks are, who are most definitely spotted by the T29 and the Pershing, you'd imagine the enemy artillery would probably be looking in the middle of the map. 4-1's a score. Struth biding his time, just waiting for an opportunity to put some shells into these enemy tanks. He's already on 2,049 damage, 901 assisted damage, 5-2. No need to get too excited. Aims and shoots the STA-1. For another 415, he says, "You'll beauty." That's 2,500. Couple more shots and I'll be able to send this replay to Stewie. And I know that's what he says sometimes because I've heard him say it. 7-3 the score now, the STA1. Clearly copping a little bit of attention from the friendly artillery. And Struth is hoping he's going to pull back all the way around this corner. Does he? Yes, he does. 310 damage into the rear of the STA1. He does get spotted. Bit of a low roll there. Left him on 37 hit points. The average damage of this 105mm gun is 390. So you can probably feel a little bit ripped off for not getting that kill. But he's certainly doing his job here on mines. The score's 9-4. Struthy's on 2,774 damage. Plus a bit of assisted. A lot of assisted, really. 900. Same as a Flying Elite. This tank destroyer getting plenty of assisted damage. And I think from spotting and from tracking. Rightio, here we go. 9-4. You can clearly see on the minimap the rest of the enemy team. They're all tank destroyers and, of course, 2 artillery pieces. So they're all back on the red line, apart from maybe this AT-15A, who may be going up there, but I'll guarantee this guy's probably pulled back behind the red flag. Struth looks towards the T25-2 and the IKV-90B, both at tier 7. Not much chance that they're going to pop out. And he's just, I reckon he's worked that out. Has a quick look at the AT-15A. He's too far away to shoot. Well, there's too many things between Struth and that AT-15A for him to get a shell into him. The STA-1 moving forward with Struth. They're going to go together and have a bit of fantastic teamwork here to get rid of these tanks. Auto aims at the T25-2. Sends him back to the garage with one quick shot. Narrowly misses artillery. Of course, the artillery was hoping for a damaging shot as well. That brings his damage count up to over 3,000. Let's make that 3,500. Plus even more assisted damage. He's willing that gun to load. He was thinking there's another kill. But, of course, the Tiger 1 picks up the kill on the AT-15A on mines, and that might be just about it for Struth. Can he get a shot into the FE-207, the tier 8 British artillery piece? You know what it's like when there's only one enemy tank left. This is exactly what it's like. The IKV-90B puts a shot into the FE. The FE derps the Swedish tank destroyer. Struth turns around, kills the pig, and that's his name, Gentleman Pig. And he also got stunned a little bit by the friendly artillery, the GW Tiger, but you can't blame him for that. Of course, he was going for that last kill as well. Struth lucky enough not to pick up any damage from the friendly artillery. And another ace tanker replay. The AMX Cda 105, the new premium tier French tank destroyer. The first premium the first premium French tank destroyer since that little tier 3 thing. That look, I reckon I got one for free a few years ago, around about Christmas time, when Wargaming were giving out the low tier premiums. But it's an ace tanker mastery badge for Struth from 1AR clan. The spotter medal for getting over 1,000 spotting damage. Bruiser, 5 for effect, high caliber, and the tank sniper medal. And that's what this thing does well. 3,755 hit points of damage, 3 kills, 1270 base experience, 11 shots fired. They all hit, they all did damage. 3,755 hit points. Unlucky not to get the kill on that Japanese medium tank when he left him on 30 odd hit points with that low roll that was 80 hit points less than the average. But you got to take the good with the bad, I guess, in this game. And Struthy pretty happy with that result. Top the scoreboards, top damage by a considerable margin when you look at it, more than double what anyone did apart from the Oni. You certainly left some of these tier 8 tanks for dead. Handy little bit of profit too, 104,389 credits after tax with a premium account. 11 shots fired, they all hit, they all did damage. Ace Taker Mastery Badge, you're beauty. And there you go, the threesome featuring the AMX Cda 105 from the Flying Elite and Struth. Is it worth it? Look, if you like French tank destroyers, absolutely. It's probably the best French tank destroyer going around as far as premium tanks go. I've got the 2 tier 10 French tank destroyers, and of course, because it's their special vehicles, you can share crews with them. You could also share that crew with the AMX Cda 105, the brand new premium tank on the Asian server. I guess they're selling them everywhere. But there you go. Thank you very much for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and see you all next time.